The second operations area was supposed to be handled by Commandos 2 and 3. The lance in Commando 3 has not been heard from. Commando Team 2 took out the hydroelectric dam and drained the lake before we lost all contact with them. A support operative from Team 2 discovered a previously unknown underground site here. That facility exits here. The original destination, an entrance to an underground facility, is located here. Our job is to get to the first underground facility via the lake bed. Investigate and neutralize the underground area here. Liquidate distribution and support facilities in this area. And destroy the real mech factory, which we now believe is located underground in this area. Bring up the probe data for Op 2. The probe flight doesn't cover our current position, but it does catch the far end of the lake. Freeze video. We need to reach this island, where a large elevator provides access to the underground facility. Begin. The flyby doesn't give us any more information. The lake is completely drained now that the dam has been destroyed. Kill the video feed. These are your objectives. These turrets protect the objective at Able. They must be eliminated before the mobile field bases can move into the lake area. The approaches to Baker are protected by these fixed emplacements. There's no way to determine what forces might remain in the area, but Team 2 was hit hard. Maybe they took a lot of the clanners with them. Good luck.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Wheel Trouble's Let's Play MechWarrior 3. This is Operation 2 Mission 1, and during the briefings we actually got an overview of the entire Operation 2, as well as what the 4 missions are going to be. So for this first mission, we are going to try to make our way into an underground facility, and then from there we'll fight through the underground facility, and then come around to where the real mech production factory is. First thing we're going to do is take all of the salvage that we can from the last operation. We have jump jets, case, double heat sinks. Those are going to come in nice, so we're going to make sure to equip those. I've been waiting for those this entire game. And let's go ahead and spend a little bit of time in the mech lab. I normally try to gloss through this and just give you guys a precursor of what I'm going over, but in this case we're going to make some major modifications to my bushwhacker. Previously I'd been running the one large laser, the LRM-5s, and the AC-10. We are going to leave the AC-10, but I'm going to go ahead and take out the large laser, and we're going to try to throw in these double heat sinks as well, so that we can have a much more efficient cooling system. So let's get this large laser out of here. And where do I want to put things? I'm still going to leave the LRMs, because now that those large lasers are out, I'm going to need some kind of firepower. Let's see. Small lasers don't do a lot of damage and they're very short range, but they recycle really quickly. So those close range vehicles or close range combat, these will come in really handy. They don't generate a lot of heat either, so we can fire them quickly over and over again. Medium lasers are a good medium or middle of the road. They're only 1 ton apiece. Not as much damage as the large laser, but still a fast recycle time, so that will come in handy as well. And we need to free up a little bit of tonnage, so I'm going to take a chance here. So far everything's been shooting the upper torso area, so I'm going to reduce the armor in my legs just a bit. And here, earlier we were talking in previous missions how the rear armor is less than the front armor, and you can see it here very pronounced. That center torso is pretty well maxed at the 36, but it's split almost 2/3 to 1/3, and on the side of the torso there's an incredible amount towards the front, to the point of just being a hair over 4:1. Okay, so we freed up a ton. That's going to allow me to throw in either another double heat sink, or I can even throw in a few more lasers. No, I have 0 Okay, 9 crits. So I could throw in another double heat sink with room to spare. The cool thing is with that double heat sink, that heat management, that annoying klaxon you guys kept hearing, it's a thing of the past. We don't have to worry about that at all. So we've got 3 and 3 for the lasers, the 2 LRM-5s, and an AC-10. We are good to go. And I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of history on each of the mechs that we're up against, as well as what we're piloting as well.
Waiting for rendezvous coordinates.
As we go through.
Roger that, Lance Leader. Transferring now. Mobile field base ready to roll, Lance Leader.
Damocles 1, you have the lead.
Okay. Now a little bit about the Bushwhacker history.
Power-up detected.
Ooh, mech power-up. Okay, we might come back to that. Okay, we have harassers and a strider.
Continue to search by quarters.
So about those harassers. A harasser is a durable combat vehicle mounting short-range missiles, and one of the main advantages is its ability to move quickly, attack, and get clear. They're 25 tons with 2 SRM-6s, which are the largest SRMs you can actually pack.
Linked fire engaged.
And give me just a second, and we'll go ahead and get some information for the
Multiple targets, our location. Snitch.
for that. What was it? Strider or Owens? Yeah, we'll wait till we actually target it again. First things first, though, we need to take out these harassers, because those SRM-6s are going to do some serious damage to us.
We have arrived and are ready to deploy.
Okay, now, that square, that's that mech, and you can tell it's moving towards our mobile field base, so I'm going to backtrack. Okay, it's a Strider. And a little bit on it. Give me just a moment to pull up Sarna as well while I kind of autopilot through this. And the overview in the manual. The Strider draws primarily from the aging Cicada design. This new Omnimech is solid, if uninspired. Utilizing a bulky and heavy standard engine kept costs down, but gave the designers few options. They chose to generalize, giving the Strider adequate armor protection, a decent speed for a medium mech, and a small array of weaponry. By trying to do too many things, it stretches itself too thin. The Strider is truly a jack of all trades, but master of none. And so, this one is the alternate C, so I'm not sure what it's carrying for sure, but it's a 40-ton mech, and we need to take care of it before it has a chance to take out our mobile field base. As you can see, it's already trying. And this will be a hybrid between Sarna and the actual manual. Okay. Oh, bulldogs. So let's talk about those bulldogs a bit too, because we're seeing a lot of those. And the bulldog is a slow battle tank mounting a variety of weapons. It has a large laser, 2 SRM-4s, and machine guns.
Single fire engaged.
So ideally, taking it out at long range is best, but trying to hit these small things or target them, I'll just take them out close range with lasers. They're lightweight enough, and they are kind of heavy. They're 60 tons, so there's a lot to them in comparison to those harassers. Ah, missed. There it goes. And you can see on my left what I meant by the heat management is so much better. Even though these lasers are doing a ton of heat, with the 2 double heat sinks, that heat is just shedding right off. And I really wouldn't want to push the heat too much farther than where I have. While we could go a little hotter, it would start running into the risk zone every time we shot. And try to line up, and missed again. Well, at least I got the paint. $60 tons is a lot of armor to push through.
I bring the pain.
more to go, and then we'll go ahead and resupply before we push on to take out the SRM platforms. Okay. And the way we're going to end up trying to make our entrance through here is we're going to go through the busted dam. Sorry about that, didn't have my mic quite adjusted the way I'd like it. And I'm going to go ahead and do my rearm first. Because with my luck, we'd run into a bunch of other mechs, and they would easily mop the floor with me. Speaking of which, if memory serves correctly, I actually remember this mission being one of the harder in the game. It's the first time you really encounter a mech that's of substantial size that you just cannot get around. You have to face the thing head on.
Repairs are done and we're heading out.
Alright, now to give Gunner a chance. Or I guess we could call him Damocles 2 or whatever. But in any case, he definitely needs to rearm and repair.
Waiting for rendezvous coordinates. Roger that, Lance Leader. Transferring now.
And since those are SRM turrets that we're trying to take out, I'm going to use my long-range missiles to take them out from a distance.
On my way to repair vehicle.
There's no sense putting yourself in harm's way when you don't have to, right? And if you haven't noticed by now, in the few episodes we've been running, down in the bottom left, you can see what I'm targeting as well as my distance to it. And the radar in the top left, the triangle is what I'm targeting. The dots are
Linked fire
armor,
engaged.
and by armor I mean
Fire
vehicles,
engaged.
infantry,
Single
and
fire engaged.
things like this. Mechs are squares. But whatever you're targeting is going to end up being the triangle. And heat just isn't an issue anymore. It's great, isn't it? So much better on our ears. But as we can see, there's a lot in that valley where the dam used to be, so we can easily say the clans
Targeting.
aren't thrilled with us. Okay, there's an Owens in there, variant D. Not sure what that really is, so let's go ahead and take a look.
Here, watch your step.
Don't really have to think about this too much, it's point and click. But it is coming in.
Primary objective complete.
Okay,
Targeting.
the Owens, the manual says it's a 35-ton inner sphere mech, which is odd for a clan planet, so somebody had to beat someone to take it. And with the development of Omnimech technology in the inner sphere, the Draconis Combine began updating its old designs. The aging Jenner, the Combine's perpetual scout mech, was upgraded and refitted, resulting in the Owens. Developers filled the new design with upgraded technology for scouting and improved upon the old Jenner's already impressive speed, making this new Omnimech a formidable recon unit, but leaves little space for weaponry. On its own, the Owens lacks combat effectiveness. Interesting that it's the one coming out to greet us. And again, it's only a 35-ton mech, so it's going to be pretty easy. But it did a number on my rear torso. That speed. And that's one of the ways they actually balance this game out, both in the tabletop and in the video game. The heavier mechs, while they have more armor or more weaponry, they are painfully slow. Light mechs are incredibly fast, but can only pack 1 or 2 weapons. And medium and heavies are kind of a balance between the two. There's a lot of gray, and they made sure to put that gray in this game. And that's part of what makes it fun. You can truly adapt the game to your play style. Doesn't always work in your favor, but it is an option. Oh, and for those of you wondering about heights and things like that, the mech that I'm piloting, the Bushwhacker, it is 12 meters tall. Okay, and I want to move kind of cautiously because we saw some blips earlier, so we know that there's more than just these missile emplacements. Seems safe enough for our mobile field base though, so we'll let them get here, and I'm going to take care of my rear torso because I really don't feel like exploding. And I guess while we wait, let's go ahead and talk about that Shadowcat. Okay, the Shadowcat is a clan mech. It's 45 tons, and the stock design comes with a Gauss rifle, which does an incredible amount of damage over a long range, but it only has 16 rounds, so you gotta be really careful with it. Has 2 extended range medium lasers, and that's it for weapons. So not a lot, but it packs a lot of firepower. It's the same height as my Bushwhacker, but with 10 less pounds, you are reducing the armor capacity or weaponry, depending on how you want it to fit. Though nominally a recon unit, the Shadowcat is deadly in any capacity. High speed and jump capability, yes, that mech has jump jets, combined with speed boosting technology, that's the mask, which you can toggle on and off, but it does generate heat, make the Omnimech extremely maneuverable. In addition, it mounts extensive armor protection and quite a bit of advanced clan weaponry, making the Shadowcat an all-around solid design. Many Inner Sphere warriors have paid the price for underestimating this deadly mech. It is fully capable of destroying Inner Sphere mechs twice its size. And so... But, fun note, it's running an XL, so if those side torsos go, that mech goes up in smokes. And that falls into the category of medium mechs. And so you have light, medium, heavy, and then assault class.
All repairs are done, and we're out of here.
And as fun as it sounds, I like running one of two. I either like running extreme light, or I like running the assault mechs. You can kind of see Dominic's not doing good, and we have that one mobile field base that's not so hot either.
Targeting.
Let's get him in for repair.
Waiting for rendezvous coordinates. Roger that, Lance Leader. Transferring now.
And then we're going to take our time taking out those missiles before we go into much armor.
Yes, sir. Refitting mech.
We've already taken out 2 mechs. That's half a lance if they were Inner Sphere. 40% of a star. But of course, if we started counting vehicles, we've probably taken out quite a bit.
Sighted. Prepare to attack.
And here we go.
All repairs are done, and we're out of here.
Okay.
Targeting.
And we've got some really light armor coming in.
Targeting.
And as funny as it sounds, the elementals are not in the manual. Elementals come in a wide variety, but for this game, they just called them elementals and called it good. The actual tabletop and other variants therein, or even the Dark Age, there are all sorts of elementals, and they are incredibly neat. Essentially, it's power armor, and they can pack either a little bit of missiles, some will have lasers and whatnot, These guys are incredibly hard to hit, especially with their jump jets and everything else. And according to the lore, elemental pilots are actually bred specifically for this. They tend to be taller, a lot stronger to help with power armor. Sure, the armor's powered, but if you've got the muscles, you can move the armor almost as if it was just a second skin. There we go. And a mech to deal with on top of elementals, so this is fun. Elementals typically count towards a star, but for our sake we're not going to. We're just going to count the actual mechs. But you'll notice down in the bottom left, they actually do count the armor in here. Okay, the Firefly. A little bit of lore time for this one. Hopefully the Firefly will come out so that I can take him out from a distance. Good idiot. And this one's a 30-ton inner sphere mech. Again, this is probably one that the clans managed to rip off from us. And this one's the stock variant, so I can even tell you what it's carrying. It has 3 medium lasers, the AMS, as well as the LRM-5. So the missiles are all I have to worry about at range, and the medium lasers aren't too bad. Like the Annihilator, the Firefly is almost never found outside the Wolf Dragoons. The Wolf Dragoons are a mercenary unit, and the Dragoons use it as a scout mech, utilizing its fair speed and jump capability. So yes, jump jets as well. Where was I? To discover enemies and provide targeting information for artillery. As a recon design, the Firefly carries few weapons, though it has enough to protect itself if discovered, haha, while performing its mission. To increase its survivability, the designers gave it the most armor a mech of its size could carry, something that has saved more than one Firefly. Well, it didn't save that one. In the meantime, I'm going to send Dominic down to take out those lasers, or whatever they were. They look like laser replacements. But yeah, 30 tons, that thing was almost vehicle levels of easy to take out. And this is where the books get enjoyable, because while the mechs are seen as the kings of the battlefield, a few authors were nice enough to point out how some of the tank drivers actually felt themselves superior, even though society doesn't treat them as such. And it kind of makes sense, because, you know, you have these huge, monstrous machines, and they just look cool. And so there is actually a planet, Solaris, where they would have gladiatorial-style mech battles. You just wouldn't see that with tanks and other armor like that. They just aren't as cool looking.
Repairs are done and we're heading out.
Okay, now that we've got repairs out of the way, let's go ahead and we'll take over for Dominic, let him kind of get healed up a bit. And I did have a question regarding what everything is that we're seeing on the screen here. So while we're killing time, taking out these lasers, let me go ahead and describe what you're seeing.
Going in for a refit.
We have arrived and are ready
on
to
the
deploy.
top left, we have the radar, and essentially what you're seeing here is the red is the enemies, the yellow line is the warning zone, the red line that would be just outside that would be the boundary where they would just self-destruct me if we're not playing the game. I don't quite remember what the dots for. I guess that's the lock-on for the missiles, judging from the way things kind of changed as I was developing the lock. Just beneath that, you have the currently selected nav point. In this case, it's Operation Point Mobile Field Base Position 2. And it shows the distance to that target. Beneath that, we have our heat indicator, conveniently labeled heat. As long as that's in the green, everything's functioning wonderfully, and we don't have to worry about it. Yellow, we start to experience a few minor glitches here and there. And then once it's in the red, we start experiencing vision blurring and other various bad stuff. And if it stays in the red too much, we just explode. It's just that simple. Beneath that we have coolant, and what happens there is we can engage a coolant flush. and that will deplete the heat completely. However, doing the coolant flush,
All repairs are done.
you've only got
You're
really
good to
about
go.
2.5 shots that you can use, so you don't really want to rely on those. That's kind of a little cheat thing they put into this game, and they do have it in the tabletop version as well. And
Waiting for rendezvous
to the
coordinates.
bottom right, since we just lost
Roger that,
the
Lance
target
Leader.
that I was shooting
Transferring
at,
now.
we have a mech readout. Now, there's 3 different versions of this, and so I'm going to go ahead
We
and
have
talk about
arrived and
each
are
of
ready
those.
to
I
deploy.
prefer the bars, so you're going to see me leave it on this. You have HTAL, and that stands for head, torso, arms, legs. I'm going to go ahead and replenish my missiles while we talk about this. And anyway, green is how much armor you have remaining. Oops.
Waiting for rendezvous coordinates.
And
We
you guys will just have to
arrived
remember
and
this
are
while we
ready
talk
to
about it.
deploy.
And so, as things turn red, it's bad. And you only have 1 head armor slot, so you'll only see 1 bar for head. The next group we have is torso. There's 6 bars there. And with those 6 bars, you have left torso, center torso, right torso. The bright green bars are your front, the dark green bars are your rear. And each of those are separate locations, and we kind of talked about how engines make a difference with whether or not those really matter. Then after that we have arms, left and right of course, and there's only one
Repairs are done,
real
and
set
we're
for those. You
heading
don't have
out.
to worry about front or rear on that. And same thing with the legs, that's the remaining 2. And fun note, and this works in the tabletop as well, let's say you get your left arm shot off. Any damage that would have normally hit your left arm after that starts transferring inwards, so it hits the left torso and moves in. Same thing with the legs. In this game, they didn't do that. This game, you lose a leg, you just blow up. So there's that. Above that, you have
Waiting
your
for
speed
rendezvous
indicator.
coordinates.
And
Roger that,
you'll notice that
Lance Leader.
it's in
Transferring
kilometers
now.
per hour. This is the super space age, where we have colonized other
We have
planets.
arrived
The rest of
and
the
are
world
ready
is
to
on the metric
deploy.
system. We're on the metric system. Get over it. And above that, we have our weapons. You can see which weapon I have grouped. Currently, it's the LRMs, which is my weapons group 2. And I have it set to where they're group fire. You have group fire, single fire, which only focuses that one weapon, and then chain fire, where you can actually cycle through each weapon inside of a weapons group.
Targeting.
Above that, we have time spent in
If you
combat,
say so.
and then above that, we have the compass. And currently, I've got that shadow cat way off in the distance. We'll go ahead and set Dominic down towards him. Hopefully, Dominic survives this, because we've been doing really bad about salvaging mechs. And as you can see, I just hit the center torso on that shadow cat. Oh, that's great.
There it goes. Think we can hitch a ride?
Pay attention to the fight, Gunner.
Good to see Gunner's still got a sense of humor while being shot at.
I have arrived. You are ready to engage.
The local commander is riding that Thor. We have an opportunity here.
Targeting.
Okay, now Thor has something to be concerned with. As you can see from the diagram, he's got quite a bit of armor. He's not going to be an easy fight. And the Thor's main advantages over other heavy designs are its mobile and its devastating short and medium range capabilities. Unfortunately, he came out at short range, so we gotta be really careful around this guy. This is true in virtually all configurations, though the Thor may be less powerful than some designs and less quick than others. It is a successful blend of firepower and mobility. And it does run the XL, so if we can knock out either of the side torsos, we'll be okay. And you'll notice the side torsos have slightly less armor. So basically, let's just shoot the center mass. And he's running alternate C, so I'm not quite sure how he's got that configured. It is a clan mech, and this one falls into what's known as a heavy. It's 70 tons.
Missile launch detected.
Let's see how we fare against him. We gotta take him down fast, because he can easily rip us apart. Okay. Great, he's got a friend now. I'm still going to focus on him, though, and leave his friend for later. This guy packs much more of a punch. And so I'm guessing he wasn't running the XL. There we go. He's down.
Nice work. That should make our job easier.
And as you can see, the kill shot was the center torso. When we were taking out his left torso, his arm was going away. Now let's take out this Shadow Cat. Really need to stop this.
Launch detected.
And Dominic's down from the looks of it. No, he's just not. Yeah, he's down. Great.
Critical hit.
So that's one mech down.
Critical hit.
Okay,
LRM.
now if you look to where my weapons are, you'll notice that certain weapons are not only grayed out now, but they're also in the red. And I'm also not doing well with my vision because of certain components being damaged. A few of my lasers and one of my LRM racks has been completely decimated. So I lost all of my short-range lasers and that one LRM-5. Those exploded off when he took out my arm. Those of you thinking you can better protect arms by putting them in your torso, you are correct.
Launch detected.
The disadvantage of doing that is the limited aim, which for my current playstyle, that's not really a big deal. But take like now where I'm running beside the Shadow Cat, I could actually look out the side and shoot the weapons that were on that arm.
Launch detected.
And that's one thing that's neat about this game is you were able to take advantage of things being on certain sides. In the tabletop game, fun little note, you can actually set weapons up on your rear too, so you
Secondary
can actually have a
objective
complete
complete.
360 firing.
You got it. I've disengaged.
They took that out for this game for obvious
Waiting for
reasons.
rendezvous coordinates. Roger that, Lance
Okay,
leader.
now we just have
Transferring
to wait for the mobile field base to show up here at Baker. And once that escort portion's complete, we'll go ahead and get the debrief. Anyway, I hope that helped you guys understand the lay of the land here for the heads-up display. And I hope the walk through the little mini briefs on the mech design helps out a lot. I realize that even though this universe has been around a while, not everyone's really familiar with it. Oh, right, I was going to talk about the different grid designs for the mech battle damage. So, like I said, currently I've got it set on bars. The other option we have is to have, like what's on the mobile field base right now, where it's just a picture of it. The problem with that is it just kind of turns red, and you've seen that with the laser turrets and the light armor, or the vehicle armor, where as I hit it, they turn a darker shade of red. That doesn't really tell me much about what components are about to die, so I don't like using that. There is one slight medium option where you can see a wireframe diagram of the mech, where each component turns red as you hit it, but it's in a static wire diagram. It's a little better, but still not as informative as the bars, so like I said, I prefer just to leave it at the bars. The good thing is the
Mission
items we
successful.
lost should be easy to replace. Let's go ahead and get this debrief out of the way, and then I'll see you guys in the next mission.
We have incoming transmissions. Sounds like it might be some good news.
Well, at least we know Dominic's alive. That's a small comfort. Just wish he was a better pilot. He was perfectly evenly matched. I can't believe he got taken out that quickly. I had that door completely tied up. But that's like we were talking about before. You don't want to give your biggest mechs to the
We have
AI.
arrived and are ready to deploy.
This is completely unnecessary. Just for the record, I'm just doing it just a little bit OCD. But at least we can respect the game developers for making your vision fuzzy
Upward
as
laser fixed.
the
Moving
mech
out.
starts to go nuts. See, and at the end of this, all we really did was lose our arm.
more contacts, Lance Leader. Epona Ree from Team 3, and Keith Andrew from our own commando. Epona Ree is northeast of our position and moving to rendezvous. She was first from Team 3 to drop. We may be able to find others, and even the Black Hammer itself.
Misery loves company. Isn't that one of Blake's old sayings?
Keith Andrew actually dropped inside Operations Area 3 and is currently limited in movement by heavy clan patrols. The Eclipse's company is working their way in to break him free. We have to take some of the pressure off.
Alright guys, that's all for today. See you in the next mission. Wheel Trouble out.